Hello, everyone, and welcome to a podcast that's purple, or as me and Adam Carlson like to say, the Purple People Podcast.
That's what I call
That's what I call it, too, because whatever I said at the beginning was really stupid.
it.
But I thought it was funny, so I like to amuse myself.
It was worth a try.
Yeah, why not, right? So I think we should probably take a minute to explain to everyone the story behind this week's show. This is actually the our second attempt at recording
That
because
is correct.
yeah, we had a whole big 30-minute segment that we recorded that or we thought recorded that actually didn't end up saved to my computer. So we won't be doing the traditional rundown. We're instead just going to give you guys a shorter. Yeah, I can't even talk. We're going to do a shorter
Yeah, this is
show, and
a much more condensed version of our show, so I hope you enjoy it.
yeah.
Let's go right into talking about injuries. Because there's a couple significant ones, especially at wide receiver for the Vikings this week. We're looking at Percy Harvin, who still hasn't practiced and may not practice up until game time, but many people are assuming he will play.
And
What do you think?
you can count me as one of those folks who thinks that Percy is going to play. I think he's really tough. He's going to be a game time decision, but I think they're going to get him out on the field.
And we may get to see young Mr. Wright again because Michael Jenkins is having foot issues. He's been having a lot of foot pain. He went and had an MRI done, and there was no structural damage. But it's bothering him really bad, and he's already had mobility problems prior to foot problems. So we may not see him on the field against Chicago this week.
Which could be best for the team. You know, we've seen Michael Jenkins has he's got issues getting separation, and he doesn't have a lot of speed. He's not going to get much separation at this point. So it actually could be for the best to kind of sit him out for a week and let Jarius Wright get on the field at the same time as Percy Harvin and kind of see what those guys could bring to the offense.
I haven't really gotten in any news on Latroy Guion. I don't know what his issue is, but we'll see.
Yeah,
And the last person on the injury report that I wanted to mention was Chris Cook. We've seen him break his arm and go on the IR so that he's eligible to return. But 2 weeks ago, he had his cast removed, and he's been working out, and he's been doing his upper body and his wrist workouts and everything. So we may see him back by the end of the year.
yeah.
I admit I was skeptical. I didn't think we would, but
I
seeing
don't
how
even
well he's coming
I
along,
don't know if we
well,
should see him back by the end of the season, but I think it's just kind of it's crazy the players how fast they seem to heal on our team. So maybe that's a good
oh,
sign for Greg Childs. Maybe he'll be coming back next season and looking really good for Minnesota, just based on the way other players are apparently superheroes on this team.
as of now, the Vikings are not out of the playoff picture, so Cook returning could be a huge push for that if that does happen.
Yeah, but before we can get to the playoffs, you know what we got to do? We got to go through the Chicago Bears.
That's right. And they are no slouch, even though we saw what happened to them against 49ers.
Yeah, but that was with Jason Campbell in a quarterback. And we don't quite know yet who the starter is going to be for Chicago, but I'm going to assume that Jay Cutler is going to be back on the field.
As far as I know, he has not yet passed his concussion tests. Until that happens, he won't be able to return to the field. So we may not see Cutler on the field this weekend, which would be huge for the Vikings because then they don't have to worry as much about the passing game. They can focus more on stopping the run.
Yeah, definitely, which it's going to be the key to the Vikings is going to be containing Matt Forte and the ground game. If they can do that, well, then they stand as good a chance of any as beating the Chicago Bears.
But the Chicago Bears will be without two of their starters this week, other than him. We're talking about Alshon Jeffrey, who is having knee problems and he's having some surgery, so we won't have to worry about seeing him probably in either game. And one Bear who may be down in the NFL is starting guard Chilo Richel, and he quit the team today.
Really? This is like a news story. I haven't even read this one yet. What exactly happened with him?
I am not sure. He recovered the fumble in the end zone
Yeah?
when it was the safety, and I'm not sure. I just think that offensive line is so tired of getting beat down and beat down and beat down. Don't get me wrong, they're not a good unit,
No.
but there's berating them and the way Cutler was treating them wasn't worth it.
Well, that's too bad, actually, to hear that a player to do that, but maybe that could be bad for the Vikings because there could be some kind of extra motivation for this Bears team to go out there and, you know, play better and protect their quarterback more. You know where I'm coming with that?
Yeah, there could be, but I see it more as just frustration and breakdown, which is what I want to see. Let's talk about the keys to this Bears game. What we need to see is we need to see the Vikings pound the football, not turn the ball over. We need to see the defense stopping the run. We need to see the defense containing the pass. That's what the cover two shell, not giving them anything deep. That's what I think the keys to this game are.
Yeah, it's going to be offensively. They've got to have Adrian Peterson, like you said. He's got to have a big game on the ground. Someone, and it's going to be, I think, a combination of Percy Harvin and Jarius Wright are going to have to step up and make plays in the passing game. And you look at our defense, we've got to see our big time defensive end in Jared Allen have a game where he comes out and he gets 3 sacks and he's able to, get a strip fumble for the team or something like that. He's got to get out there and he's got to start playing uh, exceptionally well for the Vikings because we have a really tough schedule coming up here to round out the season.
That's true. It's quite a tough schedule. The Vikings have Chicago, Green Bay, Chicago, St. Louis at home, then Houston, and then Green Bay. And it's not going to be an easy stretch. And like I said, they're currently not out of the playoff picture, but that stretch of games isn't going to make it any easier.
Now, it's going to be really tough for Minnesota. And I think we have the tools if we play at a high level to where we can win our two remaining home games, and that's going to be against Chicago, and we close out the season against the Green Bay Packers. Those are ones that we can potentially win. I'm not quite sold on this team playing on the road, and that is even including against the St. Louis Rams. So we'll see what the Vikings can do, here to close out the season.
Now, just a quick reminder, this game is the noon game if you're in the Central Time Zone. So don't miss it on Sunday. But also remember, we got a nice slate of Thanksgiving games coming up. We got 3 games on Thanksgiving. So you guys have a lot of football to watch and enjoy this week. So sit back and be thankful for the old NFL.
Yeah, definitely. Thanksgiving will be tomorrow as of this recording. So we hope everyone has a fun, safe holiday. And it's unfortunate you got to watch the Detroit Lions, but like Adam said, there's 2 other games that are going to be on TV, so you're not forced to sit through Lions football all day today or all day
I
tomorrow.
think Vikings fans may enjoy the Houston-Detroit game, though. I just have that feeling. If they tune in, they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to see the Texans stomp on the Lions.
The other thing that we had going on during the off season is that we had the Taste of the Vikings annual event in Minnesota, and it's an event to help fight childhood hunger. What it is a bunch of players and normal people. They'll pay to buy a ticket, and they'll go through and they'll have food and sample some wine, and all the proceeds go towards the Vikings Children's Fund for the summer lunch program for the Second Harvest Heartland. And it's a good program. It's nice for the Vikings players to get out in the community and see the people enjoy everything. And I enjoy how much the team does things like that. That's one of the things I really enjoy.
Yeah, me too. It's really good to see our star players go out there, and they do all kinds of charitable work. You hear about Chad Greenway. He's got the the playground that he built for part of his charity work, and
Right.
I know Jared Allen does things for the troops, and
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Peterson does his work, and it's really good to see our team going out there and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, when you have the money and you aren't just sitting on it and you're doing nice things for other people, it shows a lot about your character. And to see guys like Christian Ponder, Adrian Peterson, Percy Harvin, Phil Lodeholt, all these guys,
Hmm.
man, they don't have to do any of this, but they do it because they care and they want to, and that's what's important.
Yeah. I think even Randy Moss back in the day had a thing where it was called like Randy's Kids or Randy's Children or something like that. And I know that he had like front row tickets that he would buy for like underprivileged kids, and he would do certain things for them. So even the players that you don't Randy Moss was one there where you wouldn't
Yeah,
necessarily
you wouldn't
think
expect it from
that
him.
he would be doing stuff like that. But yeah, he was. We had a lot of good players for the Vikings do stuff like that over the years.
So that's all I have for this week. Well, how about you?
Yeah, that's all I got too. Like I said, I just want to wish everyone happy and have a safe Thanksgiving.
Yeah, enjoy your holidays, enjoy your football, go Vikings, and stay classy, Minnesota.